recent months, the FCT has experienced a rise in insecurity, including kidnapping, armed robbery, vandalism, and wanton activities. The Minister of FCT, YUSUF, in addressing these issues, came up with some initiatives such as commissioning and completing bus and train terminals in the FCT, and also initiating a clampdown in beggars and scavengers activities in the FCT. Has this initiative been able to address the issues of insecurity in the FCT?
The farmer-herder clashes in Nigeria has been a long-standing complex issue. Thousands of lives have been lost. Report says that the conflict has claimed more lives annually than the Boko Haram insurgency. How has this administration fared in tackling the menace?
On Crime Watch today, we'll be looking at a very interesting topic. We'll be dissecting this state of insecurity in the country, and our special focus is on the FCT and the farmer herders clashes. My name is Margaret Adewale.
And I'm Charles Agedu. Let's take a quick break, and when we return, we'll be introducing our guest into the conversation of today.
Welcome back from that short break. This is Crime Watch, and the station is Third Eye Africa TV. Crime Watch is a program where we talk about issues affecting the country, that is security issues, and to talk about the state of the state of insecurity in the country is YUNUSA AHMADU YUSUF. He is the chief, Abuja chief advocate. You're welcome to the studios, sir.
You wanted to murder my name.
It's YUNUSA AHMADU YUSUF, I'm correct.
Yes.
You're welcome to Third Eye Africa TV.
It's my friend.
And it's a honor to have you join us on today's program.
My pleasure.
Let's start with the FCT. May 29 marked this administration's 2 years in office. So looking at security, how will you rate the performance of this administration when it comes to security? And to narrow it down to the FCT, how has this present administration fared in the fight against insecurity in the FCT?
Well, it's very interesting find myself talking about security because it's something that I've been very passionate and practical about. Security, it's everybody's business and concern. Even the sick person in the hospital is worried about his security. Because security is more than health sometimes. When you're sick, it's like it got sent. But when there is an insecurity, it is man-made. So the differences between security and health is very, very clear and obvious. And you don't, that is why you don't see anybody joking with insecurity, both the rich, the average, and the poor.
Sorry to cut you short. You want to say that security now is more than the health. So, without health, there cannot be security.
No. Without security, sometimes it can't be health. Without security, all the doctors that will even save you will run away. And everybody, even the pastor that would have prayed for you, will run away. So security should be a priority to everybody. And that is why you see whenever a politician is being sworn in or have assumed office, somebody that didn't have security before, you see him hiring plenty policemen with heavy guns. because security is one of the key things that should come first, even before health comes in. So I am most delighted to discuss this. Now, when you talk about the rate of security, so far so good in the FCT, and these 2 years of President Tinubu in office, sincerely, the FCT security have been an issue of serious concern in the last 2 years because of the rate of picking pockets, to some extent, kidnapping and bus stops, so many taking of people's luggages and all those kind of things going around the city where you cannot move without thinking that somebody can just stop you and harass you, collect and snatch your phone and go away with it. I think it has been to an extent where the Okada riders now, they now have knives and dagger for self-defense. Because when I asked somebody, one of them, when I saw a knife from an Okada man, because sometimes on my own, I just say, let me not drive car, let me climb bike from one spot to another. The next thing you check around, you see an Okada man hanging. The knife will be very obvious that he's hanging it, so that in case of any attack, he can easily access it to fight back.
Okay, let me just pick it up from there. Now we're trying to look at the assessment of, general assessment of the level of insecurity within the FCT. And I'm happy you are bringing in this point of self-defense and all of that. There was a statement from the National Security Advisor on self-defense. Retired General Tiwa Danjuma has, continuously echoed on the issue of Nigerians resorting to self-defense. But I want to ask, what really is the cost of reducing the number of unemployed youths in Nigeria? Because when you talk about insecurity, a lot of people have also tied it to poverty, unemployment. We have army of youths in the streets who roam around. And of course, you know that the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, asked scavengers and people living in shanties and street beggars to leave the FCT. And there are the school of thought that asked, why can't you provide an alternative means of survival instead of asking them to relocate back to their states? What really is the cost of, bringing out these youths from engaging them meaningfully in terms of having skill acquisition centers and all of that, or education have always been the solution to youth restiveness. So what is your assessment of the FCT administration in the area of trying to tackle insecurity?
Well, I think about just yesterday, I was at the National Assembly and I presented a paper on resettlement, compensation of FCT indigenes and other issues surrounding unemployment of the youth. To be honest with you, the administration under Nyesom Wike, Barrister Nyesom Wike, have not made it a priority to transform the life of the youths from what they met it. It is more of developmental projects than talking about, let's be honest, there is nothing to hide here. The minister is more of the developmental projects than transforming and touching the lives of the youths in terms of employment. Now, quite all right, there is no doubt about it that the increase in unemployment or in criminality is as a result of unemployment. Now, what is the alternative? Like, for instance, these scavengers, for instance. If I want to throw a question to the minister, how many scavengers do we have in Abuja? He does not know. How many are they in number? What stops us from registering all of these young ones? Some of them can be very productive and useful. Some of them can even do craftsmanship. Do you know that we can use some of them to make them to craft baskets and even export outside Nigeria? Do you know that we have lost our tradition of farming as the means of survival of our forefathers and our heroes, fallen heroes? Do you know that if today we go back to farming tomatoes and transforming it into canteens, other countries will buy from us, and a lot of thousands of youths will be given employment in tomatoes farming? Do you know that if today the farm land we have in the FCT can be bulldozed by the minister and be tilled and say, let us get a good seedling of Irish tomatoes from other countries, export them and bring them here? Do you know how many youths, if we have the database of the youths and the numbers of the youths who come into the FCT and have declared interest that what we are coming here to do is to farm, and all we want you to do is to be paying us, we will farm and give to you, transform, package and export, then pay us. Made a housing scheme for us that you will give us one bedroom and you will be deducting from our salaries so that we can also own a meaningful life.
I'm going to take you back to that. Sorry for cutting you short. I'm going to take you back to this issue of scavengers and removing beggars off the street. What do you think, as an advocate, because you're an advocate for people. So as an advocate, what do you think the minister should do? What do you think is the proper thing he should do instead of just remove them, taking them off the streets?
These people we're talking about, we're talking about insecurity. If we are serious to tackle insecurity, these people can be used. These scavengers we're talking about, the DSS should register all of them. Identify every scavengers, because we need them. Are they not the same people we call Babambola? Or am I mistaken?
No, you are not. But the argument is that from a certain quarter, it's alleged that some of these scavengers could actually serve as spies to terrorists.
I'm coming.
Okay.
That is why I'm taking you there.
Yeah.
If we have the police and the DSS putting them under monitoring, why do we have all the gadgets and the systems we have. How are they passing this information? Is it not through the use of technology? Are we saying that we have lost it completely? Are we saying that we cannot get a database and all the phone numbers of Malam Nasuru or Ebuka, Chinedu, or even Yusuf, who has declared that his occupation or the job he wants to be doing is to be scavenging and be picking robbers? And we have a site for him, that this also site is where whenever you pick every day, you take them to that place. That is where we want to see you keep your things. And government from that end will buy, patronize you, and then go and transform them. Is it not the same scavengers that have done scavenge and then they recycle this and they have brought and they have repackaged another water and I'm drinking it?
Okay, yeah, but
if these are the same people, these same people we're talking about, if they know that government have record of them and have a database of them, and for every offense that they commit, they can be traceable. How did you come to Abuja? What is your mission? What did you tell government that you are coming here to do? When did you come? When you are traveling, what is your name number? What is your phone number? Who are you? Where do you stay?
Okay.
Who is your guarantor in the FCT?
Yes, I think there are two things for me here. The issues of scavengers, because it was traced that some of the manholes covers that were vandalized within the FCT. Talking about scavengers and vandalism, I think they traced the manholes to a certain market in Abuja. They would have been able to take it up from there as to who sold to the bearer of the manholes that were discovered. That's one side. That's for vandalism. As regards to
Mr. Charles,
just hold it, let me land. As regards to scavenging. But now, when we are talking about insecurity, only recently there was a suicide bomb attempt in one of the barracks within the FCT. And before then, not long ago, a retired military personnel was attacked in his home and his service pistol was stolen and he was murdered. And the police, I don't know, till now, some people were arrested around the Apple Pantakers because they also traced some of these people that went to attack this retired senior military officer in his home around Gudu Apple Axis and killed him, were traced to some of this Pantaka market. So the question here is that in tackling insecurity, the government have also come up to say, the president and the NSA, that they are adopting modern technology in tackling the insecurity. So there are two things here. Scavengers linked to vandalizing infrastructures, then the infiltration of terrorists and kidnappers into the FCT is on another hand. And if you go around FCT, when it comes to the area of transportation, you will agree with me that there is a government inside government. There are some people parading themselves as union members, going about disturbing or even harassing motorists, seizing keys, impounding vehicles in the name of trying to fight against one chance operators within the FCT. Is it that the government has failed to the point that they can no longer handle these issues of insecurity in all these directions that I've mentioned now within the FCT? They will not take it at the nation at large. If you check what is happening in Benue State, if you check what is happening in Plateau State, if you check what has happened in Zamfara State, it has now become a trend that Nigerians are now gradually resorting to self-help, which has always been a certain voices that is coming from even the high and mighty, like the likes of T.Y. Danjuma and the National Security Advisor.
Mr. Charles, permit me to say the security people, though all the security chiefs in Nigeria, permit me to tell you that they are not serious. That is the truth.
How?
They are
Chief of
lying.
Army staff are just relocated
They are
to
all
Benue
not
State.
serious, that I say so. Both, all of them, including the IG, the Chief of Armed Staff, and all of them who are in charge of security in FCT and in Nigeria at large, they are not serious. Ask me if the people who they want to fight, if they know them. They don't even have enough information about the people they want to fight. It is only when there is an emergency that they begin to look for them. As I'm talking to you, they don't know the criminals before they steal. Such kind of people can barely achieve any success when it comes to security. I have a very good knowledge when it comes to security. Look, the first thing that comes to a security to a criminal's mind, or anybody who wants to commit crime, the first question he asks himself, who know me? That's the first question from a criminal. Nobody know me. Nothing will happen. Nobody. If a criminal knows that they will know him or trace him, he will be careful with the kind of crime he will commit. Or rather, he will not commit that crime with him.
So what has happened to intelligence
Now,
gathering?
why? That is why I'm now coming there. You can now see that. Why is it that somebody will leave Katsina to come and commit crime in Abuja? Because he knows that they knows him in Katsina and he can be traceable. But in Abuja, nobody know me. So I can commit crime and go scot-free. Now, do you think that me now, you can ask me to steal this laptop? Me, as a well-known name in the FCT. Can I simply involve myself in any kidnapping?
So, sir, are you implying that when it comes to the FCT, there is no record?
They don't have information, including the minister. I challenge him. He is just saying he wants to remove scavengers that have not solved the issues. Even if he chase away all the scavengers, other criminals will build up quietly. There are some court boys. You will see them in Yaya, you will see them in Pape, you will see them in Buhari, you will see them in Kubwa, you will see them even in Garki or Apo.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Do you understand me?
Yeah,
now, apart from scavengers, we have court boys.
Yes.
Who are also into criminality. Apart from them, we have other people who have now advanced into kidnapping. Apart from them, we have other people who have now advanced and have think that their life is worthless. They want to now go into suicide bombing. Because it's only when a man feels that he is living a worthless life that he does not even, he's not even wanted in the society, he has no value, he has no use. That is the reason why you will consider suicide bombing as, even if I die, what do I have? For instance, if these people will know we have their records, for instance, now today, I thought what Mr. Wike should have been doing is to say, okay, he wants to take up a census of all the scavengers and all those people who are living in shanties, in abattoirs. He wants to know all of them. He wants to know all of them. Or anybody they arrest from now henceforth should present his national identity card if you want to live in Abuja. If Wike has said that, I would have clapped for him. Because these scavengers we're talking about, we still need them. And even if we want to make their activities more corporate, what we should do, to me, or if I was one of his advisors, I would have told him, sir, what we should do is that we should introduce home-to-home collection of waste bin. Home-to-home collection of waste bin. These scavengers, government can still pay them, but collect waste bin from house A. If you see anything that you want, take it out, but take the waste bin from that spot to so spot. At the end of the month, government might still appreciate you with, even if it is 50,000 naira, and yet you have still collected rubbers that you want and those waste bin. And for everybody who collects waste bin in every area council, like in the FCT, there should be a headquarters where you must report those waste bin. No waste bin can be taken out of Abuja without following the clearance of that headquarters where it's supposed to be. It's very simple. When you collect waste bin, you take it to the headquarters where all waste bins are to be registered. This is my own. My name is Ali. I cover District A, and I am the one who have collected this and this and this and this. I have brought them here. I have submitted them. Do you get what I'm telling you?
Yeah,
it's a very simple tactics that can be adopted. You now take them. You say, okay, I collected this. All those manhole, if you catch anybody with any manhole that look, this person stole manhole, where did you get it from? That person will now be used as a scapegoat. We will send him to prison.
Yeah, I agree with you, because
for other people to learn.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Because you cannot just tell me that somebody steal manhole, he will travel with it to Lagos, and the police checking point could not uncover him.
Yeah, talking about collaboration, that is where I want to come in now, because the FCT minister has said that he's trying to, work around collaborating with, stakeholders, because in this fight, like you rightly mentioned, if there was a collaboration like the PPP arrangement, the private
private partnership,
yes, for waste collection and recycling. If there are recycling points around FCT, you know that if you collect waste and you don't take it to those locations, is as good as not making money from it. That would have been another way to control.
And manage them.
Yeah, but my question is, how can we really, bring these people together? Because you made mention of identity cards and knowing who is who. We've had NI, we've had BVN, we have linking me to your mobile phone numbers. What is really the issue? Is it that the government has no willpower to tackle insecurity headlong? Because when there is kidnapping, people make phone calls for ransom. When these bandits or terrorists come into the city to carry out their attacks, if somebody is kidnapped or anything happens, the government is talking about using technology to track these crimes. Why is it so difficult to still track down criminals like this whenever
Have I not told you,
happens?
Mr. Charles, have I not told you, are we not here on this table? When I told you that all the chiefs who have said they are handling insecurity in Nigeria are not serious. You think I'm joking? I owe no apology to any of them. If only they are serious, by now they would have suggested to Mr. President or the budget of Nigeria. How can we go and hypocritically or hypocrisy? That was what made us to register NIN. What is the use of NIN today? What are we using it for?
Yeah, because it said
Because NIN, we are not using NIN to achieve any security success. Have you ever seen where you go somewhere, you commit an offense, before they bail you, they say bring your NIN number? Did you see police doing that?
yes, that's the question I was trying to ask.
Have you seen anywhere where they stop you at the checking point, or you want to enter the border of Nigeria? They ask you from the border that bring your NIN number, or you want to cross into Nigeria.
Yes, that's the question I
Do you know
asked.
that even Niger, common Niger that were here, the last time I went to Niger, the security checks before I pass into Niger city, the security check
Is more than when you are coming
is
to
more than Nigeria.
Yes, I agree with you. Now,
Do you get it?
yeah, the question I want to ask.
What we are saying is that our own people, apart from all the financial benefit that is attached to their office and all those things, I don't think they are serious about tackling insecurity in this country.
Okay.
Because when last did you hear, or have you ever heard, since we started since 2009, that insecurity got relevance? Let me use the word that it got relevance in Nigeria.
It became prominent.
Became prominent, that their shekau begin to threaten people. Have you seen them, the government, have you seen the federal government brought out anybody who is a senior citizen of Nigeria to say that this is the man that normally sponsor Boko Haram or supply Boko Haram with bullets or supply Boko Haram with guns, or this is the man that normally go to Korea or go to all those countries to go and help them to purchase bullets? Where are those people? Is it gods that are doing it? They are Nigerians. And those people are untouchable.
Okay, the Chief of Defense Staff made a statement some weeks back that the issue of terrorism in Nigeria can be traced to foreign headers, that the herdsmen that are attacking in Nigeria are foreigners. And only yesterday, he also made a suggestion. I think one of the security chiefs, I think the Chief of Defense Staff as well, also made a statement about suggesting to the federal government that we should consider fencing the Nigerian borders with our neighboring countries, that the infiltration of these people from other countries. But the question I want to ask is, like you rightly mentioned, the security checks when you are going into a foreign land. What are we doing with our BVN? What are we doing with our NIN? What are we doing with our international passports, or even with the ECOWAS passport? Even if there is a level of freedom of movement within the ECOWAS states, but there should be a way of tracking individuals. Like I want to tie it back to what we were discussing about FCT. That instead of asking people to, because if you're asking scavengers, because these scavengers you are talking about, whether you like it or not, we need people like that in society. Because sometimes, apart from the vandalism that we talked about, some of these plastics that is littering the street, they are the people that help us to take them out of the street. And you can't rule out recycling in our economy. And these guys are finding this as an alternative to unemployment that we are talking about here. So if you tell them leave the FCT, and Nasarawa tells them leave Nasarawa state, and you go parts of the south, and a state government is also telling the scavengers or the people that are not residents of the state, because he said, somebody suggested from the National Assembly that he should have built rehabilitation centers or even orphanages for those that are begging, to find a way to rehabilitate them or give them some form of education, whether formal or informal education, to keep them engaged instead of asking them to leave the town. So what I want to ask here is, foreign headers, foreigners, insiders, and all of that, shouldn't we have a systematic approach in tackling insecurity headlong when it comes to movement of people into a city or settling there, whether as scavengers or staying in shanties? Is it not a failure of government in its entirety?
Well, you are not saying it as loud as I want you to say it. Let me tell you one thing. I've told you this. It is very shameful for anybody to be telling me that foreigners are coming into his country and that all we should do, we should link the insecurity
to foreign headers.
So they will leave their country, come to our country because they were looking for grass. Abi?
Yeah.
To feed their cows. They came to feed their cows. The next thing now,
terrorizing us.
They are now killing us after we gave them access. The question is that, at what point did you give them access? What was the question you asked them before you allowed them to come and feed their cows? What was the conversation you had with them? If you are saying you don't know anything that brought them to their country, to your country, how can a visitor come and chase away a house owner? That is what somebody is trying to tell me here. That a visitor came, he now came and say, leave your house and leave your wife for him.
So you don't agree there are foreign headers that are perpetrating this?
I don't agree.
Okay, meaning you are on the same page with the governor of Barkonun State, because he also came out to say just a few weeks ago that the insecurity, the new renewed attacks by terrorists, these so-called terrorists, is as a result of having they have insiders in the military, they have insiders as politicians, they have informants, so to speak. They have informants as politicians, they have informants as military officers, they have informants as village collaborators. Would you agree with the governor of
Yes,
Barkonun?
I think I do. Because, for God's sake, these guys we're talking about, they walk through the bush path in the forest. Before they come to get to a community, they are being sighted. One person must see them. Do you understand me?
Absolutely.
An alarm would have been raised.
That we have foreigners in our midst.
That, look, from Mount so mountain, I sighted some people coming in their numbers. I don't understand the identity of those people. At that point, immigration, custom, police, army, joint task force, including vigilante, will come. If they come in peace, they will raise their hands up. We came in peace. What is your identity? Capture them. Register them. What is your mission? How long are you staying in our community? What benefits are we getting from your visit? If there is no benefit, we don't need visitors as you people. Come back. Okay, you want to pass through our community. Make sure you pass. Then you are alerting the state government. You are alerting another state where they say they are going. Whatever. We cannot say we are living without information and our people are being killed, kidnapped, and being hosted every day by day, and all will come out is that we are speaking English. Why is it that all this while they have not kidnapped any senior citizen of this country?
They have.
How many?
Yeah, just hold your thoughts there. We'll take a quick break, do that, then we'll come back and continue this conversation. We in the last half an hour or thereabouts, we've had Chief YUNUSA YUSUF AHMADU in the studio with us. He's known as the Chief Advocate of FCT, and he's a Chief Buhun Barkonun of Abuja. I think I got that right.
Buhun Barkonun
Abuja. So we've been having this conversation around, the insecurity challenges in the country, and the farmer headers clashes, and the insecurity within the FCT, the seats of power. And this is Crime Watch on Third Eye Africa TV. Don't go away, because if you have just joined us, you have not missed a lot. Still to come on the program after this short break. We'll be right back.
We're talking about South and the North. You talk about middle belt. Currently in Nigeria, we don't have middle belt. North Central is what we have.
Okay.
And they are included in the North. If the perception is because Nigeria is standing on a tripod, you have Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, they are the owners of Nigeria. That is a very wrong perception. These are major tribes in Nigeria. Simple.
Yeah.
Nigeria is owned by every single citizen of this country.
If you go to civilized nations, they possibly have, stratified their political parties such that those who play at the national level are there. And at the local level, you have other minor political parties playing there. And it gives sense of belonging to every citizen to be able to contest.
And in fact, once you have joined APC, all your sins are forgiven.
It's okay. It's okay. Up your mind. It's okay.
This is Third Eye Africa TV, exposing crime, savaging the nation.
Welcome back from that short break. If you have just joined us, this is Crime Watch on Third Eye Africa TV, and we have in the studio with us Chief YUNUSA AHMADU YUSUF. He is the Chief Advocate of FCT and is also a chief, a very senior one. And we've been looking at the issue around insecurity in Nigeria at large, with special focus on the FCT, of course, and the issue with farmer headers clashes. Chief, it's a pleasure having you with us in the studio. Before we went on that break, Margaret was about...
Yes, I wanted to ask, looking at the strength of our security forces and their capacity now, do you think they have the capacity to bring down or to curb insecurity in the country? Looking at our manpower, the security of our security forces, the police, the customs.
I had an interaction with one of the military personnel. I have a lot of them as my friends. Now, some of them have come to understand that some of the senior men are knowledgeable of what is happening, and they are demoralized. In Nigeria, once anybody knows, say, Oga know waiting to happen, even if you are the one, will you not be discouraged? Because senior man, even if...
I want to explain what you mean by they know what is happening.
What I mean by they know what is happening is very obvious now. That the way and manner, the unseriousness when it comes to fighting this insecurity in Nigeria, it is very obvious that you don't need a soothsayer or any pastor or any seer to tell you that some of the senior men in the military, I want to accuse them of knowing what this insecurity is all about. Because they cannot just tell me that this Boko Haram, since 2009, till date, instead of us to have cubed insecurity, have cleared them completely. Till date, some people cannot, even nowadays, as I'm talking to you, farm. Some people cannot go to farm with their mind.
So are you implying that we don't have the manpower to
Not as if we don't have the manpower.
Okay.
We don't have the zeal, and some of our senior men in the service are beneficiaries of what is happening to other poor Nigerians who are not knowledgeable.
Okay.
Some of them, I want to tell you today, if they are not beneficiaries, why is it that how many generals have gone to go to the bush to go and fight Boko Haram? Okay. How many of the majors, how many of them are they not all in the office enjoying AC?
Okay.
How many of them did you hear that Boko Haram kidnapped them because they were in the bush together with these boys? How many of them, they only sent, how many of them are the boys under their command inside the bush? How many are they telling us that? Wait, I want to know, how many helicopters did Boko Haram have?
Okay, now
that I'm coming, that Boko Haram are on their way, and Air Force have helicopters, and yet they will get to where their destination is, kidnap, adopt, and carry people, and take them till they get to their hideout. Somebody is a liar somewhere.
Okay, yes. I want to also point out an issue here, because in our last edition, I made mention of this video that trended some weeks back of anti-terrorist police in the bush crying out loud that they don't have the marching order to smoke out terrorists. But look at, they know where they are in the bushes. They have all the weapons and all, because there was an accusation that our security forces are not equipped enough to fight these insurgents. But the chief of army staff, or the chief of defense, also came up to tell us that no, it is not true that they don't have enough weaponry. They have enough weaponry to take off the insurgents. After he said that, before he said that, there was a video that was trending that this anti-terrorist police said that they don't have the marching order, that they know where these guys are. It will take them less than 3 hours to smoke all of them out.
Okay.
That they have withholding orders, that they have a restraining order, that if they want to go all out against these terrorists, they have orders not to go all the way to kill them. They just sometimes, scare them, chase them, and leave them. So, but if they have the marching order to wipe them off, that it will cost them nothing, that they have the capacity, they have enough weapons to take out these terrorists. So, where is that willing power? Where is the missing link for us as a nation? Is it that these policemen that make such accusation were right? Because till now, the IG has not summoned those police to ask them that they make wrong accusation. The army has not said anything about that accusation. And we've had incidents of top religious, or so to speak, traditional leaders going into the bush to negotiate with these terrorists, and even going there with cash to settle some of this ransom that they demanded for. So what really is the issue? Like you have said, is it that there is a vested interest in this fight against terrorism in Nigeria that is preventing us from winning the fight at once?
Well, Charles, I want to thank God that whatever I'm saying here, I'm saying it without fear or favor. And by the grace of God, as I am speaking to you here, some people are currently in the hands of the terrorists. I want to speak in solidarity to whatever that is happening to them. Some of our military men, I don't know whether police or army or air force or traditional rulers, are aware about the terrorism that is happening in Nigeria. How can you be telling us? Since I was born, there was this quote that anytime insecurity past 48 hours, government is aware. I don't know if that one is true. And if it is true, that means Nigerian government has been aware since 2009 till now. How many years is this? Now, for God's sake, shamelessly, they will come out and tell us that somebody gave them order not to smoke. Not to smoke, oh, not even killing you. Are they even supposed to bring any kidnapper to us to see? How can you even show me a kidnapper that you have not killed? A kidnapper? For what? Why can't you even settle him once and for all? Because for him to have gone to the bush and all he is doing now, the job he is doing now, is to kidnap the freedom of another Nigerian. The person is as good as he is no longer a normal citizen.
Okay, so are you in support of the suggestion by some well-meaning Nigerians for us to resolve to self-defense?
If you don't resolve to self-defense, you should know that already right now, as we speak, these people are conspiring with kidnappers. Because right now, as I speak to you, just like I have told you, I'm still looking for that very big man in Nigeria that is kidnapped. I have not seen any of them. Senior citizens of this country are not part of the people being kidnapped.
And just yesterday, 4 kidnappers were killed in Delta State. And you said something about you not being happy if kidnappers are being killed. So are you implying that kidnappers, when caught, they should be killed?
If kidnappers are caught, don't bring them. Kill them there. Once you confirm that this is a kidnapper and he was inside the bush, that is his job. Kill him.
Okay, the security agencies.
What happens to the helicopters that we have? They are normally hovers and drop bombs at the creek of these guys. How can you say a kidnapper? He doesn't even have a house. They are at the mountains. Oh, if you smoke them now, they won't be able to even shoot at the Air Force. Who is lying to who in this country?
Yeah, some have said that there's a link between the kidnappers and the terrorists. That the terrorists, they are the same most times. They kidnap to gather fund to fund their terrorism acts. So now, the question here is that a lot of people have advocated for community policing and state police. What's your take on community police? You are a community man. You have the network of your chiefs around the FCT, and you have the network of...
What is there is that I will encourage community policing, because right now, community policing is as well as vigilante. Let them allow vigilante to take over the security, because right now, our police, our army have been demoralized, who normally comes from different states. Those community policing, they should not post another police to go and work in another community. Post every police to work in his village. Let him protect his family first of all, his grandmother, his grandfather, his generation. So that is what we should be talking about when we want to say community policing.
How about state police?
No, state police, I don't think we need that much, because we already have a national police. That the national police, to me, have not been able to meet up to the expectation of Nigerians. We are yet to get results. People are being kidnapped every day by day. People are being going, and then some of them have lost the braveness because they know that their bosses knows the kidnappers. They know that some of their bosses are whining and dining with kidnappers because they are not ready to go to those forests because their bosses will not follow them inside there. Before now, we used to have commanders, generals that will follow their boys to the bush and give them instruction to shoot on sight. But these days, we have senior officers that will sit down in headquarters.
No, Chief of Army Staff is in Benue State, like I
said. Are you hearing me?
They will sit down in headquarters. Clashes because of the level of killing in Benue. Chief of Army Staff has relocated there.
We commend him for that. We hope result will come out from that. But we know that what we have been seeing lately is that they will sit down in an administrative office and be signing approvals as if they are politicians. The approvals they should be signing is how to get bullets, smoke, and all that it's required, food, for those people to go and kill those guys and come back with victory. I don't expect kidnapping and banditry to last more than 1 week in this country. President Tinubu must understand that Nigerians have so much hope on him. When it comes to security, security should be the least thing that Nigerians should be asking for from this administration. If at all there is anything we should be begging Mr. President for, should be security, should not be security. Insecurity, we are disappointed to the fact that we are looking for security. We Nigerians, here so many people are complaining of hunger. No problem, we are ready to go to farm. We are ready, including me, we are ready to go to farm. We want to go to farm what we want to eat. But these guys will not allow us to go to farm. The fear of a kidnapper is the beginning of whatever that you want to achieve in your life. So even churches now, even if we want to go to church, I am telling you, I swear to God, so many people are not praying and closing their eyes in church nowadays. Do you know why? They don't know the next thing that will happen.
Even the same thing with the mosque. Because
even the mosque.
Yeah, the mosque.
So many people on your mat said that is what everybody is living on. So Mr. President must understand that Nigerians are so hopeful to an extent where we want to know exactly who are the sponsors of these kidnappers. Mr. President, until you are able to bring to book, show us a senior Nigerian, how many of them that you are sentencing to death. How many of them have the gadget, the record? What are we saying? Are we not tracking these people? Are they not using phones? If any of them is talking on phone, can't Mr. President ask DSS to tell him what the so-so person say? Can't you kneel him down and say, I am killing this person because he's the sponsor of Boko Haram? How many of them? The National Security Advisor should give us the record that he has. They are lying to us, and then just all they do is to sign money and sign budget every day by day. How many of the senior citizens have you seen that government have brought to book that they are the sponsors of kidnappers? These kidnappers, they don't know their way to London to go and buy weapons. They don't know their way to go and buy bullets. Who is going to negotiate for them? Who is talking on their behalf? Who is paying for them?
Who is supplying them?
Who is supplying them arms?
Who is supplying them food?
Who is supplying them information?
Who
is giving them food?
And the cutter dropping. Okay, I think
Yes, we can
It's
go on
a good
and
way to
on,
anchor
yes.
it.
No, no, leave me alone.
We can go on and we will not be done, because insecurity is something that is very wide and very broad. We can spend the whole day talking about just insecurity, but it's so it's been impactful having you here with us on Third Eye Africa TV. I want to thank you very much for joining us on Crime Watch, and we hope to have you in another maybe edition of the program. That's when you choose to.
That's if they leave me.
And to you, our viewers, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Crime Watch, and keep watching Third Eye Africa TV. My name is Margaret Adewale.
And my name is Charles Agedo. Please stay with us on this station and on this program, same time, same station, next time. Bye for now.